Oh, Angelina, you know I love you so much. Together again. Let's kiss and make up. Mwah. See?
Alright, so let's get into this review on the Blitzway Fight Club Tyler Durden Red Jacket version figure. 1/6 scale. Let's give you a quick up and down, quick look at his accessories. We'll get a closer look at them in a minute. Comes with a few bits and pieces. The one thing he doesn't come with, which the other version does come with, is the bar of soap. To me, I think both of these figures should have come with the bar of soap. Just, you know, I think that's the essential little accessory. You saw it on all the film posters and the DVD covers and the VHS boxes and all that stuff. So that would have been nice. I'll also take his glasses off and we'll change the lighting situation. You can see a good look at the face. But yeah, straight away I'll just tell you, it is a fantastic figure. It's definitely worth getting. Put any of your doubts aside. You really need to see it in hand. And the different lighting situations change the way the face looks pretty drastically sometimes. But it is fantastic. Definitely recommend this. Alright, let's see what it's all about. So taking a look at the accessories, we have some hands. You got some relaxed hands. And these hands here, which would be pretty good for holding the cigarettes. And a gun holding hand there with a ring. It's also got the scar. And the business cards. Paper Street Soap Company. And the gun. And some beer bottles with Fight Club as the brand. That's pretty cool. And you've got 2 cigarettes here. And the pack of cigarettes with Tyler. What else does it say? Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Full flavor, Tyler. And you can kind of see the cigarettes inside, but they don't actually come out. They're not real cigarettes. I think it's just painted to look that way. But basically, one of the cigarettes isn't lit. One of them is lit. And then the one that's in his mouth, right there, has a very sort of thin, or, you know, the end of the butt kind of goes into just a really thin section, so it can just slip into his mouth there. And that one's the most burnt down looking cigarette. But these other 2, they don't go in his mouth. They're meant for his hands. You get the shower, which is a really random accessory to get with him. I know there is, you know, scenes where there's a shower like this, but I don't know. I mean, it's cool, but a bit of a weird one. I always thought that. You do get some golf balls there in the bag. So yeah, you got your golf club. Obviously he's got this baseball bat here as well. That's very nice. It's not actually metal or anything like that. I think it is just plastic. And the base is a weird design. I mean, I do like that they've done something different, but I'm not a massive fan of the base. I do find that when I'm moving him around and stuff, this whole sort of thing just kind of comes apart. And you can see here, it is very different from what we're used to with the Hot Toys stuff. Interesting design though, and you can conceal the base pretty much completely so you don't even see it. It is nice to not have that kind of groin grabber awkwardness, like the third leg look, which I've never really been too keen on. But yeah, so those are the accessories. Just briefly mention how nice the box design is. Very classy, really in keeping with the theme of the film, and just very nice box indeed. All the tailoring on the clothes is absolutely fantastic. You can't fault it. That's something that, you know, Blitzway seem to be on par with Hot Toys, to be honest. There's no gap there. I know, you know, Hot Toys get all the licenses, so they get to release all the, you know, the stuff that the main vast majority of people like Marvel, DC, characters like that, but they're on par with Hot Toys. There's no doubt about it. Some of the stuff Entebbe have done would put them on a par with Hot Toys. It just seems to be a matter of scale of a company, the amount of workers they have, and the licenses that they have the rights to work with. But, I mean, the way these tracksuit bottoms feel, I mean, that's what you'd imagine they would feel like if they were shrunk down to 1/6 scale. The leather jacket, I guess, is like a pleather or a fake leather, or maybe it's real. I don't know. It's that good. I mean, it looks fine, looks real. The shirt feels really nice as well. It's a different sort of feel all to its own. Everything feels very different from each other, but, you know, oops, knocked over his beer bottles. The boots will hinder his ankle articulation, obviously, but yeah, the tailoring and the clothing is absolutely fantastic. The detail on that shirt is really impressive. I'll just also say there are different variations in the film where he's wearing this red leather jacket, but with different sort of a shirt or a t-shirt underneath. Now there is a blue t-shirt that we didn't get with the figure that he does wear a lot, kind of a pattern design on it. But there's also a brief scene in the film where he's wearing this jacket with a black t-shirt. Now I do have a black t-shirt, so I'm very curious to get all this off, swap it for a black t-shirt and put the jacket back on just so I can rock him like that for a little video for you guys. Also, I want to, I've got some other sort of dark, sort of almost black greyish jeans. I think I might cut them into the kind of shorts that he wore at one point as well. So I'm just going to try out a few different looks in a video coming up after this one soon. So that should be interesting. You can just see this outfit sort of variations of the same kind of look, but just with different sort of under t-shirts and different shirts and stuff, and maybe possibly swap out some shorts or something. So that should be interesting. Absolutely awesome looking piece though. Very cool from the side profile I find with this one. I mean, it looks great every angle, but especially from the side, I don't know, it just really looks good. Just want to talk about the glasses a little bit. They are very fragile feeling, but not extremely fragile. You'll have no problems with them as long as you're careful, and there should be no breakages, again, as long as you're careful with them. Take your time and don't rush into putting them on. I find getting the little hooks around his ears always works on one side, but then it won't work on the other side once the other one sort of clips behind his ear. Like this one, that looks perfect. And you come around here and it kind of pops out. So I can never really get both behind the ear to stay very well. But yeah, I do like the glasses. I've seen some custom ones on some pictures on Sideshow Freaks. They look much better, but I'm glad we got these anyway. I will say, obviously, there is a LED shining from the camera right in his face, so do bear that in mind. I think it looks fine right now, even with the light shining in his face, but just bear in mind that is what's going on right now. Watch the True Light review to see it in daylight, and a little first impressions video before that where it was kind of a bit more natural, but just want to let you see all the detail, and you can soak that up. All the little freckles and lines in the forehead. Yep, amazing work. We'll get closer in a minute. I just wanted to talk about those glasses. Alright, so let's get a detailed look at this face. As I said at the start of the video, it is something you do need to see in person. And there is a light shining in his face right now. Again, watch the True Light review I filmed outdoors if you want to just see it in natural daylight. But this is with a light shining in his face, just so you can see all the detail. And I don't think there's any teeth visible in there, but I do think it's a very, very strong likeness and a fantastic head sculpt by Blitzway. This is my first Blitzway figure. I did want to get the Carlito from Carlito's Way. I love that film and I thought the figure looked amazing, and from what I've heard from collectors, that came out fantastic. You got those scrapes and cuts on the side of his face. The eyelashes and the way they've been applied to the paint app is the one thing that kind of my eye goes to. I see the way the eyelashes are done there on the eyelid, and I think that looks a little bit, not sloppy, it's fine, it's just definitely gives it away in photography. That's why I rock him with the shades on most of the time when I'm taking pictures, because like that, it looks very real. And the only thing that tends to give him away is the neck joint, or where the head meets the neck. And here he is again with the light coming from more underneath than directly in front, so that will affect how things appear as well. But I do think it holds up really well, even with a big lamp shining in his face, because that's what I'm doing right now, guys. It's guerrilla style. As I said, I do need to get the lighting in this new room sorted out. Still rocking that pathetic light up there. It just does not illuminate things very well at all, but I'm doing my best for you here. Just wanted to give you a good look at that head sculpt. That's another reason why it was good to get that True Light review shot outdoors, so that you can see, you know, how it really looks. But do bear in mind, he has a massive light in his face right now, and it still looks great to me. The angle affects things. So I'm coming up slightly, starts to look more and more sinister, but it is an amazing sculpt. I would honestly say put your worries to bed. It's absolutely brilliant, and look forward to getting your one. And those of you that cancelled it, silly. The articulation with this figure is fine. It doesn't have a double bend in the elbow. That's as far as I can get that up. But it's okay. You won't really be able to get him to hold the cigarette to his mouth directly. I'm pretty sure I saw an early picture where he could do that, or maybe someone managed to figure out a way to get him to do that and put it up in a picture early when it was released. I'm pretty sure I have seen him doing it, but I won't be forcing that arm up any higher than that. Obviously you can move it up that way from the shoulder, but yeah. Well, articulation for the kind of character this is, you're going to be able to do pretty much all the things you want. And by the way, when I was filming the collection video, without even thinking about it, Brad Pitt ended up beside Maleficent, which is obviously Angelina Jolie, and they've had some troubles, not going to be together anymore. And yeah, that was just really weird when it hit me that I actually had fucking Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie standing beside each other, let alone having them in the collection. If you had told me one day that I'd have a Brad Pitt action figure one day, I would have laughed at you. But you know, here I am with one. Very strange. What are we doing, guys? Anyway, he's great. You will most definitely need to heat up these hands, or the wrist peg, however you want to say that. You need to heat up this area with a hairdryer carefully before you try pulling off and putting on new hands. Much harder than Hot Toys hand swap overs, I found. And the fingers, well, these, they really, like on a Hot Toys figure, you can pretty much, you know, they're not soft, but you can move the fingers around a little bit in order to get a gun in that hand or whatever. But these are really, you know, they're not solid. As you can see, it does move, but it's a lot tougher for you, a lot harder to get the accessories in the hands than with Hot Toys stuff. You use a bit of heat in order to get certain things in there. I was able to get the gun in there no problem, but certainly swapping over the hands requires a little bit of a heat up to make that easier for you. Bear that in mind. Alright guys, well I'm not going to keep you here all day. I will bring you a showcase video on this guy with all the backgrounds and stuff, and that way I'll be able to just, you know, I'll show you the poses that way rather than doing all the pose stuff in the review. I need to take a little bit of time and plan that one out. I want to do a nice little showcase video for this figure. I think it will look cool. I've already, you know, rewatched the film recently, and I've seen a bunch of moments in the movie where I know I can use certain moments as a nice background for certain poses, so that's what I'm going to do. But just to sum it up, honestly, it's a fantastic figure. Lighting affects it when it comes to photography pretty drastically. You really do need to see it in hand. I wouldn't lie to you, it's a fantastic piece. It's my first Blitzway figure. I'm really happy with it. It is definitely now one of my favorite figures. It just stands out, and I like the colors. I like just how damn cool he looks. And it's a, you know, I was right at the right age. I think Fight Club came out in 1999, and I was 19. And me and my friend, best friend at the time, we used to watch this film a lot. I mean, too much. So I remember specifically not watching Fight Club for at least 7 years because I overwatched it. And there was literally, you know, I knew the lines from the movie, and you know, when you watch a film too many times and you just kind of think to yourself, time to take a long break from this one and try and let myself forget about some of it so I can rewatch it again one day in the future and have it feel fresh again, which I did. And when I finally did rewatch it about 7 years later, I couldn't even remember how the film started, so that was cool. I need to do that with Dog Soldiers and Batman Begins, you know, some of my other favorite films that I've watched too much and just wish I could experience for the first time again. But yep, fantastic figure, looks amazing, and I don't think anyone would regret getting this. Absolutely cool accessories, and obviously there is another version of this which I don't have, but I would like to get. I might get it in the future, who knows. But do I really need 2 Tyler Durdens in the collection? I'm not sure. I think I'll just stick with this one. We'll see how it goes. But yep, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Fantastic piece. 9 out of 10. That's a pretty good score. I don't really care about scores, I've got to be honest. But just for those of you that feel the need to hear that, I'd say it's a 9 out of 10. Alright guys, showcase video coming soon. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And that's all. Just bask in the irony of a Tyler Durden action figure